What's up guys, my name is Brandon, you guys can call me Swifterrs, and welcome back to a brand new Fortnite video here on my channel. Today, I'm super excited to be bringing you guys 5 things that need to be removed from Fortnite Battle Royale. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at virtually everything within the game, and I'm going to be bringing you guys my top 5 list of things that I think need to be removed from Fortnite. Now, you guys have really seemed to enjoy the videos that I've been posting here on my channel where I take a look at 10 things that have been removed from Fortnite. So today I thought I'd switch it up and take a look at 5 things that are currently within Fortnite that I would love to see removed from the game. Now, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below if there are any things that I don't cover in today's video that you would personally like to see removed from Fortnite. Let me know what those things are in the comment section below, and I may just make a part 2 to this video. Now, I do want to remind you guys, if you have yet to do so, to follow me on Twitter. It's going to be the very top link down in the description below, but we're closing in on almost 10,000 Twitter followers. On top of that, over on Twitter is where you guys can stay up to date with everything going on with my channel, and honestly, you guys can get to know me as a person a little bit better. So again, that's going to be the very top link in the description below. But with all of that being said, let's get started with today's video, taking a look at 5 things that need to be removed from Fortnite Battle Royale. So this top 5 list is really in no particular order, and these are obviously all of my personal opinions, and I'm sure some of you guys may disagree with me on a lot of them, and others may agree with me on them as well. But these are all items I personally would not care if the developers decided to take out from Fortnite. So to start this list off, the very first thing I would like to see removed from Fortnite Battle Royale is Dusty Divot. Now, Dusty Divot is obviously a very new location on the map. It's about a month old, and it came to Fortnite with the introduction of Season 4. And obviously, when Dusty Divot first came out, it was a super highly populated area because it was a new area on the map, and it's literally placed in the very center. So a lot of people went to this location in the first couple of days of Season 4. But after that, Dusty Divot got extremely old. Now, I don't know about you guys, but personally, I very much preferred Dusty Depot over Dusty Divot, and obviously there are still some elements of Dusty Depot at the new Dusty Divot, but for the most part, I think that Dusty Depot was a lot better. Now, the reason why I say this is because Dusty Divot is now a location where so many people go at the very start of a game. They jump out of the battle bus, and that's where they land to get the majority of their loot, whereas with Dusty Depot, it was a place where there really wasn't all that much loot, and especially if you were playing squads, it's a place where there's very limited materials and very limited items and weapons. So leaving Dusty Depot if you were playing squads is a very bad thing to do in my opinion, and for the most part, I liked having Dusty Depot there just because it was more so a location where different teams and different squads actually met up to battle once they had all acquired loot from different areas around the map. Not only that, I really liked having that gigantic valley, which is now unfortunately taken up by that giant crater. I preferred that giant open valley where you were very vulnerable running through it. So for that reason, I very much preferred Dusty Depot over Dusty Divot, and I've got my fingers crossed that hopefully the developers remove it from the game. So moving on to the next thing that I would personally like to see removed from Fortnite. This kind of goes alongside with a Dusty Divot, and I'm really curious to hear you guys' feedback specifically on this item because I know a lot of people like it, a lot of people hate it. I am more so on the side where I don't really like it, and I honestly would not be upset if the developers took it out from the game, but this is the Hop Rocks. Now, obviously, when this item first came to Fortnite, it was fun, it was different, it was unique, it was a very creative item that definitely added a whole new dynamic and element to Fortnite, but after some time, these Hop Rocks definitely got old. They created a pretty unfair advantage if you had them and an enemy didn't, and you were going up against an enemy. It was rather easy for you to actually attack and kill them, and it was very difficult for them to try to counter you and the Hop Rocks. So in that sense, it was a kind of fun using them when you had them and an enemy didn't. At the same time, if an enemy had them and you didn't, it was very difficult to actually try to counter their movements and try to kill them when they're trying to kill you and they have the Hop Rocks. On top of that, if you give a Hop Rock to a very skilled player and a very skilled builder, they're going to be able to dominate you 100% of the time. Now, I'm not just saying this because I get killed by players using hop rocks all the time. That's not where I'm going here. What I am saying is that this thing does create a rather unfair advantage for some players, but don't get me wrong, there are definitely some benefits of having a hop rock. Say if you're running away from the storm and you're able to get a hop rock, because of that, you may not be put in the storm when you're using that hop rock to boost jump or boost build your way to safety. So in that sense, they are helpful, but honestly, now that we have the jetpack in Fortnite, I really don't see there being a point to having hop rocks within Fortnite, and because of that, I really would not care if the developers removed it from the game. So moving on to the next thing I would love to see removed from Fortnite. This is actually a weapon, and it's a weapon I know a lot of people can agree with me on, but this is the silenced submachine gun. This was a weapon that was added a pretty long time ago, but needless to say, it really isn't all that good, and it's definitely an item that the developers need to vault. Now, in hopefully removing the silent submachine gun, the developers definitely need to add new submachine guns into the game, and it's actually a possibility because with patch volume 3.2, there were actually some leaked files suggesting a brand new P90 submachine gun would be coming to Fortnite, and it's interesting because patch volume 3.2 was 10 patch updates ago because we are currently on patch volume 4.2, so hopefully it's only a matter of time until the developers decide to get rid of the silent submachine gun and hopefully add the new P90 submachine gun into the game. So moving on to the next thing I would love to see removed from Fortnite. This is actually another weapon. It's not actually a gun, but this is the C4 or the remote explosives. Now, obviously, when this item first came to the game, it was super cool. A lot of people used it, but they shortly realized after that the C4 or the remote explosives was really bad. Now, with the patch volume 4.2 content update that came to the game just a few days ago, the developers increased the strength and the explosive power of the remote explosives. However, personally, I still do not think that the C4 is the least bit good. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I was actually really excited for this item to come to Fortnite when it was first announced, but once it was added to the game, I don't think the developers executed it properly just because the explosive damage of this item was very bad, and because of that, it sort of just turned me off from ever using it, even though the explosive damage has since been increased just a little bit with this new patch update. Because I really didn't like it when it was first in Fortnite, I have just stayed away from it ever since, and because of that, I could really care less if the developers removed it from Fortnite. So the fifth and final item I wanted to talk about in today's video of a thing that I do not care if it is removed from Fortnite is an item I've got my fingers crossed you guys will all agree with me on, but this is the bush. Now, the bush is by far the worst legendary item within Fortnite Battle Royale, and the only people that actually use a bush is people that are trolling for funny videos or people that literally don't know how to play the game and they are big noobs. Now, if you guys do use the bush, I apologize, but for the most part, 99.8% of the people that you guys encounter using a bush are typically not very good at the game, and I honestly think that the bush has seen its day, and I do think the developers need to remove it from Fortnite. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that the bush was either maybe the first or second item that was ever added to the game. I could be wrong, but I just remember that this item was added to Fortnite at such an early stage in the game's development, and because of that, I do think that the bush needs to be removed from Fortnite, and I can honestly say that there is a very small minority of people that do use the bush for legitimate purposes, but for the most part, the bush is a really bad item. It's super easy to spot people using a bush, and a lot of people are pretty good at the game now, and they definitely know to shoot inside of a bush when the circle is smaller and there really isn't that many people alive. But overall, I do think the bush has seen its fair share of time in Fortnite, and because of that, it needs to be removed by the developers. So guys, there you have it. Those were 5 things I would like to see removed from Fortnite, and as I said in the beginning of today's video, those were all of my opinions. Some of you guys may agree with me, whereas others may disagree, and that is completely fine. But because of that, I want you guys to let me know in the comment section below if there are any other items within Fortnite Battle Royale that you would personally like to see removed from the game. And if you guys enjoyed this video, I may just make a part 2 using some of your guys' suggestions that you leave me in the comment section below. So guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new. If you guys have yet to do so, be sure to turn on those post notifications because I do upload daily Fortnite content here on my channel. As I mentioned in the beginning of today's video, be sure to follow me on Twitter. It's going to be linked in the description below. But with all of that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be sure to catch you guys later.